السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه. أما بعد, distinguished guests and my dear participants in this great seminar, may Allah receive this function from us as a great one. Today is the 26th December. This day is going to be a golden feather in the minds of whole Darul Islamic family, which is established in Kerala State, Malappuram district before 36 years. And there are several UG colleges and off campuses outside Kerala. Staying away from the main campus, the students and teachers of Assam off campus really create the history by organizing such a seminar on the anthropology of Northeast Indian Muslims. As you know, these academic deliberations shed light on the famous Sufi of Assam, the Adhan Pir. This function is titled as Seminar on the Northeast Indian Muslim Anthropology. Then what is anthropology? It is made up of historical research, archaeology, cultural studies, etc. It uses monuments, all archaeological relics, and the cultural field, the concept of literature, art, food, dress, language, to understand the course and growth of history. In his famous book, What is Islam?, Shahab Ahmad has made an attempt to read Islam in this way. The author says that the definition of Islam, a religious culture, a cultural diversity that cannot be suppressed in any way, and it is also old and prehistoric times. You people may think that why such topic is relevant. The rich Muslim cultural heritage in Northeast India remains untouched in academic arena. So it is the need of the hour to explore more about our ancestors and make the people to work hard for the upliftment of the next generations. As our enemies try to erase all our symbols of existence, we have to counter all these attempts intellectually, not physically. Darul Huda is ever-changing experience which always gives preference to the intellectual projects, and the same thought is the real motive behind the foundation of this prestigious institution in Assam. I congratulate all students, teachers and well-wishers of this campus who made the seminar a memorable one. May Allah bless us all. Inshallah, I will speak some words in Arabic also, because it is the official language of Islam. Alhamdulillah, اجتمعنا هنا في هذه الجلسة بمناسبة دراسة إنسانية أو بشرية حول المسلمين الساكنين أو المتواجدين في شرق الشمال الهندي. والمسلم له مسؤولية عند الله سبحانه وتعالى الذي خلقه وأرسله إلى الأرض كخليفة كما بينه في قوله تعالى: إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة. فيجب على الإنسان أن ينفذ ما أراده الله سبحانه وتعالى بخلقه فوق هذه البسيطة. وللإنسان له أجل خاص، لأي إنسان يكون له أجل أو عمر خاص، ربما يكون 40 أو 60 أو 70 أو 80 إلى آخرها. مهما كان عمره، مهما كان طويلا أو قصيرا، يجب عليه أن ينفذ مأمورات هذه الخليفية. والإنسان هو المسؤول عن إقامة الثقافة البشرية فوق البسيطة. إن الله سبحانه وتعالى من حيث إنه خلق الإنسان لهذه المهمة أرسل إليه الأنبياء والمرسلين لكي يدرس هؤلاء الأنبياء والمرسلون للإنسانية تعليمات هذا الخالق. فمهما كان الإنسان منحازا عن هذه السبيل المستقيم، يجب عليه أن يواجه الخلفية الوخيمة لهذا الموقف السلبي. كما نرى فرعون مثلا، الفراعنة كانوا طغاة جبارين فوق هذه البسيطة، حتى إن واحدا منهم مقصوص لنا في القرآن الكريم: إن فرعون علا في الأرض وجعل أهلها شيعا يستضعف طائفة منهم يذبح أبناءهم ويستحيي نساءهم إنه كان من المفسدين. فمهما مكث في طغيانه وجبروته وكبريائه، نراه أخيرا خضع لسنة الله، سنة الله التي ليس لها تبديل ولا تغيير. فلما أدركه الغرق قال: آمنت أنه لا إله إلا الذي آمنت به بنو إسرائيل وأنا من المسلمين. أخيرا خضع لله سبحانه وتعالى، وقد أصابته السخرية والاستهزاء إلى يوم القيامة، حتى إن جبريل عليه السلام سأله: الآن وقد كنت قبل من المفسدين، فاليوم ننجيك ببدنك لتكون لمن خلفك آية. هكذا نرى هؤلاء الطغاة والمتجبرين والمتكبرين الذين طغوا عن سبيل الله وعن مقصود الإله، إنهم خضعوا لله تعالى في لحظة من اللحظات. فيجب على الإنسان أن يؤدي مسؤولياته فوق هذه البسيطة، ولا سيما كما أشرنا من قبل هؤلاء المسلمون الذين يعيشون ويتواجدون في هذه المنطقة الشمال الشرقي للهند. نرى هناك تاريخا مشرقا للمسلمين في هذه المنطقة أيضا، ولكن تلك التواريخ مطموسة تقريبا، لم تجري هناك دراسات ولا استنباطات ولا اكتشافات ولا اجتهادات عن هؤلاء المسلمين الرؤساء. كما أشرنا إلى الشيخ الكبير أذان بير، وأنتم تعلمون عنه كثيرا. فتكون هناك من الواجب أن تكون هناك كثير من الرجالات الكبار الذين أدوا مهامهم في حياتهم في تثقيف الإنسان وتعليمه وإرشاده إلى الطريق المستقيم. فيجب علينا كمسلمين الساكنين في هذه المنطقة المذكورة، يجب علينا أن نكتشف أو أن نستنبط عن هؤلاء الرجالات الكبار الذين أدوا مهامهم في تثقيف وفي تهذيب وفي تعليم وفي ترشيد هؤلاء المسلمين القدامى الذين كانوا يعيشون في هذه المنطقة. فنرجو الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يكون هذا الاجتماع نبراسا لهذه الفكرة التي أشرنا إليها، والتي تكون لها مستقبل زاهر فيما بعد، حيث إننا إذا كنا نحيي ذكريات هؤلاء الرجالات الكبار يكون ضياء لهؤلاء المتأخرين الذين سوف يجيئون فيما بعد، والله الموفق. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Jazakumullahu khairan. The anthropological perspective in Islamic perception alongside the envision of Quran that was made up with Dr. Bahauddeen Huda Nadwi Ustad. Thank you very much. And now we are listening to keynote address by Dr. Yasmin Sikia, Professor of History, Arizona State University, United States of America. It's a video conferencing. Let's go to the screen.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. Namaskar. It's my great pleasure and honor to be part of this conference on Muslim contributions, culture and history in Assam. I thank the organizers for inviting me. Although I'm very far away in the United States, through this video speech, I'm trying to reach to you, and I hope we will have further occasions to meet in person. Thank you very much. I welcome the delegates, the presenters of this conference, the chief guest, and I wish you the very best in a very successful and productive conversation and discussion on the very needed topic of the Muslims of Assam. My name is Yasmin Sikia, and I'm a professor of history, and I hold a distinguished chair in peace studies at Arizona State University. I have lived for more than 3 decades in the United States, having come here originally as a graduate student, completed my PhD, and started teaching in the United States since 1997. Although I have lived for many years, more than 30 years in the United States, my relationship and love for Assam has never diminished. These different people today live in the province of Assam, the state of Assam within the Indian Union, and are generally called the Assamese. The Assamese community has a very large number of Muslims. The question arises, who are these Muslims? And when did they come to Assam? Where did they come from? In order to study this very large historical question, we have to look into the various Muslim communities of Assam and delineate their histories separately in order to understand them together. From my research, I have come to the conclusion that there are basically 6 groups that one can broadly categorize and classify in Assam. The earliest groups of Muslims came to Assam in the late 12th, early 13th century as the kingdoms of Muslims were expanding into this area from Western India. Many of these people who came with the armies from northern and western India settled in Assam, mostly in the western part, and became part of the local communities there. They're very old, nearly 7 centuries old, 700 years old community, having settled in Assam in the very early 13th century. Today we call them the Deshi or Dehi Ohomia. They're part of the Assamese Muslim community. Following the settlement of this group of people in Western Assam, many new people arrived in Assam, some on their own as traders, religious preachers, itinerant. Some of them came with armies, and many of them settled here, although some may have also left. We do not know about the people who left, but the people who settled in Assam during and after the initial settlement of the 13th century spread throughout the Brahmaputra Valley and became involved in different kingdoms and worked for different kings, nobles, different administrative systems. It is in the eastern Assam or Ahom kingdom that a large number of Muslims settled, because that was the most successful and the dominant kingdom in the Assam Valley. My own ancestors, my father's line, are also people who came to Assam in the late 16th century, in 1595, from Delhi. We do not know why they came and how they came, but we do know from a copper plate inscription that was given to this family in 1604 that states that Azimuddin, the progenitor of the family, was given the title of Sikia, a large land grant, and an Ahom noble woman, Laboino Gabharu, in marriage. Thus started the line of the Sikias of Amguri near Sipsagar. Azampir is within that community of people of eastern Assam, of the Ahom kingdom, who lived and died in that region, keeping his religion while adopting the local ways of being that made him highly attractive to many people in the region who perhaps adopted Islam as a religion, emulating his tradition and showing respect to him. The Burunjis of the Ahom kingdom note the presence of Azampir in the chronicles and mentions about his work among the local people and the contributions to the local society that he made and advanced the religion of Islam locally. So this second group of Muslims historically settled in eastern Assam, in the Ahom kingdom. We call them Gorias today, and they, along with the Deshi of the western part of Assam, constitute the Ohomia Muslim. There's another group of Muslim that also can be classified within the Ohomia Muslim, the Moria, who probably also came with different armies and settled in the area of central Assam. There is a fourth group, which is of the Barak Valley. The Barak Valley and Surma Valley were adjoining areas. The Surma Valley was ruled by the Mughals from the mid-16th, early 17th century. It was the Suba of Bengal of the Mughals. And since they adjoined the Kachari kingdom, a lot of Muslims also settled in the Kachari kingdom of Barak Valley. When India and Pakistan were divided in 1947, the area of Surma Valley of Sylhet became part of East Pakistan, later Bangladesh, and Barak Valley was mapped within the province of Assam and became part of the Indian Union. So the Barak Valley Muslim, or sometimes called the Sylheti, Silchuria Muslim, are also a very old community of that region. So you have 4 Muslim communities now: the Deshi and the Goria, the Moria, and the Barak Valley. All of these communities predate the British colonial expansion into Assam. During the British colonial period, they invited, coerced, provided a lot of incentives to another group of people to migrate to Assam in order to increase the agricultural production of the region. This group today we call the No Ohomia, Cholua, Pomua, or Mia. When the British came to Assam in the early 19th century, they very quickly understood that the economic potential of the region had to be improved and increased to make it a revenue-generating province for the British. And tea was found to be very suitable crop for Assam. In order to develop tea plantations and tea production in Assam, the British had to import a lot of workers, laborers from the rest of India. But tea is a cash crop. It is not a food crop. So with the increase of population in Assam and the development of commercial agriculture of tea, and also the discovery and advancement of oil production in Assam, there was a need for greater food production. The British, therefore, provided incentives and also invited, or one can say, encouraged people from East Bengal, particularly the area of Mymensingh, to migrate to Assam and develop agriculture in the areas what they called wastelands. These are mostly riverine areas of the Brahmaputra Valley, the chors, the islands, and sapuris, the sandbanks, to increase food grain production, which was carried out by these East Bengal peasants. Of course, if one gives you land and provides you some incentive and invites you and gives you provisions to settle in a new place, even today, people migrate looking for better opportunities. So these East Bengal peasants came to Assam with the expectation that they will become landed farmers, which they did. And they advanced agriculture. So with the arrival of these peasants, East Pakistani, East Bangladesh, East Bengali peasants from the early 20th century to the mid 20th century until 1947. The production of food crop increased in Assam. They also introduced cash crop like jute, mustard, a variety of new vegetables were grown by them, and they were generally considered desirable farmers. However, they were geographically very isolated from the rest of the Assamese mainland societies of the Brahmaputra Valley and Barak Valley, and mostly being illiterate peasants, their socio-cultural interaction with the rest of the people was very limited. There's a sixth group, which also came with the British time, which is the Julhas, mainly settled around the colonial towns and the tea and the oil industrial areas. They came from northern India mostly as skilled workers for different kinds of work that was needed in maintaining the tea plantations and the oil industrial machineries. It is important to keep in mind that this history is created by multiple different components and have different points of origin, but they together become part of Assam. And it is in Assam that all these different communities of Muslims develop their culture, their society, and their connection to the place. Indeed, it is a very important element to study that the Muslims who came from elsewhere, whether it was from northern India or western India, Bengal, or another part of India, once they came to Assam, they integrated themselves with the local community and have shown incredible capacity to accommodate and adopt the place as their own home. It is in this home of Assam that reciprocal relationship that have developed between the Muslims and the other communities need to be highlighted and showcased in research that will develop in the next few years on the Muslims of Assam. One must appreciate the fact that the Muslims, although they came from somewhere else perhaps, consider themselves to be quintessentially Assamese, and they want to be a part of Assam. They want to have that recognition. They want to be at home. They want to be respected and given the dignity as a human being, as a human Assamese, so that one can appreciate how Assam has been both a place of welcoming relationships with a variety of different people, including the Muslims. And it is here that Muslims have also made very important contributions in developing local society, advancing amity, friendship, building trust, creating new opportunities and possibilities for social, cultural, economic development, and show it to others how through mutual understanding and relationship building, communities of different religious orientation can advance together and improve the place and people in multiple ways that improves our humanity and enables us to live in peace and understanding with one another. Once again, congratulations for holding this conference, and I wish you the very best in your discussions and deliberations for the rest of the day. Thank you.
Respected dignitaries in the dais, and the dignitaries sitting in front of this dais, and my dear student, I am very happy to be associated with your international seminar on Northeast Indian Muslim anthropology, one of the most important area to be discussed, and especially the topic what you people have chosen for discussion, like Ziki and Jari, other anthropological aspect of the Muslim community. These are very interesting area to be discussed and also to take part in such type of discussion. As I am speaking in English, I am asking to the student, are you finding it difficult to understand? You can understand, huh? It's okay. Very good. You see, especially the university, Nurul Huda Islamic University, I appreciated their effort to establish one off-campus in this very backward area of this Borpeta district. As such, Borpeta district itself is one of the 100 most backward district in the country, identified by our DHIU, you see. So here, most of the people live under poverty, below poverty line, and if you look at the economic condition of the people, they are very, very far below the average economic status in the state of Assam. Forget about the Kerala or Karnataka, other developed state. Now, maybe Darul Huda Islamic University, as the name signifies, they are mostly concentrating on the spreading, establishing Islamism or such type of idea, aim and objective, mission and vision. There is no doubt about it. But at the same time, they must be thinking how to provide livelihood to the student, those who are enrolled in this university or in the off-campus. You see, I am Vice Chancellor of a spiritual university, that is Krishnaguru Adyathmik Viswavidyalaya. What was Gurudev's vision is something different than any other visionary personality. He thought that in spite of educating the people, why we are not able to create person with a strong moral character, with a great human values, why we see there is rampant degradation of social value, moral value in the society. So as a counter to those huge rampant degradation of the social value, he wanted to introduce one special curriculum where spiritual study has been blended with the regular curriculum to impart knowledge to the student, to know themselves, to know these important values of life like humanity. all these things. And in Assamese we call it the Atma Gyan. What is spirituality? If you know by thyself, if you know the study which gives us the opportunity to learn about ourselves is called as the spirituality. Know by thyself is the spirituality. What we in Assamese we call as the Atma Gyan. If the person do not have that Atma Gyan, how he will serve the community? One thing you people must remember, keep in mind, any religion, whatever best may be, if it is devoid of, if it is lacking the sense of humanity, it is totally useless to the society. Whatever best religion you may preach, you may impart to the student, to the society, if it is lacking the sense of humanity, it is totally useless to the society. If we don't know how to respect a person, respect the humanity, what is the use of all this exercise? All these are futile exercise. You should understand what is human being, how to respect. That is why Krishnaguru Professor, his first niti, doctrine was, Ami Zati nohoy, Gyati nohoy, Gosti nohoy, Ami Joro Podato nohoy, Ami Kyol Krishnoda Atma hai. For us, there is one religion. That is the humanity. So in Krishnaguru Sasam, we have more than lakhs of disciples coming from minority community. You see, we don't believe in such stuff, caste, creed and religion, in a sense that humanity is the best religion. So for us, there is no bar for any caste community to join Krishnaguru Sasam. They will get equal respect. In the same Kirtan Ghar, they will get seated and they can actually worship their God. God, you see, we can call as Krishna, we may call as Allah. There is no difference, you see. There is no difference. Ultimately, it is actually understanding the humanity, serving the humanity, respecting the person, each and every person. Our Gurudev taught us, you should touch the feet of a person and respect him. Why do you know? He is coming from that great soul, eternal soul, as a part of God or Allah. That's why you should respect him. Because he is there is something from that great soul, you see. That's why you should respect each and every person as a Vishnu Rup. Protect Manoke Vishnu Rupe Gyan Koriba. তেতিয়াহে তোমাকো সেই সন্মান দিব মই যদি এজনৰ শৰণ চুই সেৱা কৰো ইজনে মোক শৰণ চুই সেৱা কৰিব মোকো সন্মান কৰিব মই যদি এজনক আঙুলিটোৱে কথা কওঁ সেইজনে মোক আঙুলিটোৱে কথা কব যদি সেইটোই কালচাৰ আমি পৃথিৱীত আমি বিস্তাৰিত কৰিব বিচাৰো তেতিয়াহলে পৃথিৱীত শান্তি কেতিয়া প্ৰতিষ্ঠা হ'ব how can we establish peace in that society if every religion believe that my religion is the best others are totally meaningless. Probably that is the most blunder we are doing in this world. We never think to respect the person, you see, human being. But we respect something else, which is ruining us. And the topic of this seminar, actually, what you have selected, Ziki and Zarir, you see, I belong to a place where justice Akhtar Ban Ali Bora is also belongs to that place, you see, Sibsagar. My father place is Jorhat, you see. I am educated from Jorhat JB College and then I have joined Regional Research Laboratory Jorhat, now Council of Scientific Industrial Research, Northeast Institute of Science and Technology, Jorhat. And there I have joined in 1979, retired as chief scientist in the year 2015. Then I have shifted to this university in academic sphere from research to academic area. And in between, many things has happened. We have established one of the important institute in this part of the country, that is the GNRC group of hospital. And I am one of the founder of the GNRC group of hospital. And now I am one of the director in the board of management. That is a company hospital. We have hospital not only in Assam, 4 hospital. We have hospital in Calcutta also, Barasat, where most of the minority population is there near Barasat. And we are establishing one hospital in that minority dominated area in Barasat in Calcutta, you see, and providing them affordable health care services in that area. And I was a member of the SFI, Student Federation of India. You know, our federation never believed all such of small things in the society, prevalent in society. And we like to serve the humanity, you see. For us, everybody is same and similar. For us, there is no difference of people, one person to another person. And this Ziki and Zari, you see, I stayed most of the time in Jorhat. Rekibuddin Ahmed Chahab, he belongs to Dergaon. I used to sing Ziki and Zari with some of my friends belong to Muslim community. And in Jorhat, if you go to Jorhat, if you go to Shivsagar, Muslim and Hindu will live like brother and sister, you see. I have many family in Baligaon, Jorhat. They invite me during Eid and all these things. And they celebrate with us. Whenever we celebrate Bihu, they bring cake, you see, from this Muslim community to our residence before Bihu starts. So that is our relation, you see. We are grown up like brothers and sisters. You know Imran Shah, how much he is contributing to the Assamese literature. You know that Abdul Malik, Syed Abdul Malik, he was my teacher in JB College. How much he has contributed to Assamese literature. So they are Muslim, but they never think that they are Muslim. They have assimilated in such a way in that society that people have forgotten that they are Muslim, you see. We never say Imran Shah is Muslim. He is purely Assamese, you see. That is the level of assimilation in our state. We never think that they are different from others. Because in my Bihu celebration, this family come with cake, you see, homemade cake to present us. That is our relation we maintain in Jorhat and Shivsagar. And I told one, actually, he is a senior advocate in Guwahati High Court. And I discussed many things about your Muslim community. He is Hasibur Rahman, who was additional Director General, Assam government. Now he is senior advocate in Guwahati High Court. And he belongs to Titapur, you see. Titapur, you see, near Jorhat. They are really Khandani Muslim, Assamese Muslim. And people may call us Assamese Muslim, we call us Assamese actually. Really Assamese. He tells me many things about your community, you see. What are the bad things prevailing in your community? What are the good things you have? What are the various categories of Muslim that exist in your society? He never hesitated to tell me frankly, you see. And today I am very happy that your Vice Chancellor is also here. That's what I like to appeal him actually. The way we are doing in Krishnaguru Adyathmik Viswavidyalaya, although it is a spiritual university, how we are running spiritualism, you know, that spiritualist study is a compulsory subject in our university, no doubt about it. But at the same time, we are not forgetting to offer students, those who are enrolling their study, to earn their livelihood, bread and butter with their degrees, whatever we award from that institution. That's why along with spiritual study, and also I should mention that in Krishnaguru Academic Hub, we have from KG to PG and PhD, more than 30 PhD fellow already enrolled in that university last 2 years, during these 2 years. And at the same time, in the same university, we have vocational to professional degrees. Like in case of vocational, we have welding, plumbing, electrician, fitter. We have professional study like BSc nursing, GNM, then we have Bachelor of Physiotherapy, Pharmacy, all this area. We are not only giving them spiritual knowledge to the student, we are offering them the way how to earn their livelihood. You see? ধর্মীয় ভাবেৰে ভাবমূৰ্তিৰে বতা খাইতো মানুহ জীয়াই থাকিব নোৱাৰে নহয় তোমাৰ ধৰ্মটো যিমানেই শ্ৰেষ্ঠ নহওক লাগে হাৱা খাকে তো নাহি জি सकता है ना you have to earn something from your family আৰু ধৰ্মীয় কথাত আপুনি মনোনিৱেশ কৰিলে যে আপুনি সংসাৰ চলাব নালাগিব হেতুটো নহয় you have to run your family also to run your family you need certain livings to earn your bread and butter. That is why we are offering all this degree along with this spiritual study, so that after pass out from that university, we will not suffer from hunger. That is our motto. And since time is too short, I don't like to take much time. And since you have invited one Vice Chancellor, you have to spare some time. That is also the protocol, you see. It is also one of the protocol in a such type of meeting. And you see, in Sikia and Zari, it is a process of assimilation. How to assimilate with the Assamese society. That was probably Azan Fakir has. In most of the Ziki and Zari, you will find all these assimilating words like in the sidehood we have many times we have performed such type of Ziki Zari. Now I have left all these things, but I like to cite one thing at least, Ziki and Zari. Sahab jaya gote hoy saheb hoy ভকত যায় আগতে হয় সাহেব হয় হায় হায় ঐ সাহাবে উলাল মুলি হয়ে আল্লাহ রহমত গিরিহত তুমি আল্লাহ সাহেব যদি করা দরিয়াত হিন্দুয়ে বিলালে হয় সাহেব হয় মাহে প্রসাদে হয় সাহেব হয় হায় হায় ঐ মুসলমানে বিলালে রুতি আল্লাহ রহমত গিরিহত তুমি আল্লাহ সাহেব যদি করা দরিয়া পার আপনি এটা মই কিলে সাইড কৰিছো হিন্দুৱে বিলালে মাহে প্ৰসাদে মুছলমানে বিলালে ৰুটি that is actually important message for integration you see that is an important message for integration. So Azam Fakir has given you the tips actually how to assimilate in the society. Where you earn bread and butter, you should try to assimilate yourself. Otherwise you will be isolated. You will be isolated from the nature. So wishing all this deliberation and discussion more successful, more fruitful, I like to stop my short speech with this much. I am grateful for giving me this opportunity by the organizer of this symposium to share my view within a very short time. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, to presenting such a syncretic words in front of our magnanimous audience. And alongside the syncretism between Azan Faqir and Shankar Dev makes the entity of Assam itself. And that's why we are proud of it. And it's my volition to invite the Vice Chancellor of Darul Islamic University to present a gift, a book written by S. Jeevan, a prominent journalist from Kerala, translated to English in the name of Islam, the beloved of a non-Muslim, for the Vice Chancellor of Krishnaguru, Dr. Tarun C. Bora. Please welcome. Thank you. And it's my pleasure to invite you, Shafi Haji, General Secretary, Darul Islamic University, to address the audience. Please welcome.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Honorable Ustad Dr. Bahauddeen Muhammed Nadwi, the Vice Chancellor of Darul Islamic University, Kerala. Honorable Dr. Tarun C. Bora, the Vice Chancellor of Krishnaguru Adyathmik Viswavidyalaya. Justice Akhtar Fan Bora, Dr. Israfil Hussain, Assistant Professor of Royal Global University. Honorable Shafi Islam, Honorable Professor Iftikarul Islam, Honorable Jabir Ali Huda, Registrar of Darul Islamic University, Kerala, and Sayyid Ma'in Ali Tangal, Director of Darul Islamic University, Assam Center, and all other dignitaries sitting on the dais and off the dais, and all the participants of the seminar on Northeast Muslim Anthropology. Today I am very proud to be a part of this international seminar which discusses Muslim anthropology in the Northeast India and Sufis like Azan Fakir. First of all, I thank the organizers of the seminar. It is very happy to know that Students Union of this campus SIDRA, which is only 4 years old, conducting such a great seminar to highlight the importance of Northeast Muslim history and their contributions in various fields like in history, culture and literature. Darul Islamic University started its educational activities here in Assam 8 years ago. From the time of foundation, Darul Huda tries to change the face and fate of Muslims of Northeast India. This is a university campus where the exchange of knowledge is done very effectively. It is only through knowledge the generations will live long. I hope this seminar will be a great step to revisit the contributions to the history of Northeast India Muslims and its culture. Our forefathers had made the history and it is our shoulder concern to protect it. I conclude my speech. May Allah bless us all and reward all of you the best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you all. And it's time to conclude the inaugural session. And within 5 minutes, we can start our first session. And the chair of the first session is Justice Akhtar Fan Ali Bora, sir, and Jahrul Bhaiya, Ilyas Chaudhary will present in this session, and Dr. Israfil Hussain sir will also participate in this session. And let's go for it. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.